Boxing Opinions 100. Hit that subscribe button. I caught an interview with Bernard Hopkins, B-Hop, as we all know him. Bernard Hopkins is with Oscar De La Hoya of Golden Boy. Bernard Hopkins was weighing in on the Wilder Fury trilogy. And I like to hear Bernard Hopkins, his view on fights. Because if you ever watch an interview with Bernard Hopkins, he doesn't just run off and answer the question that he's asked like immediately. You see him make sure that he heard the question right, and then he takes a second to really assess the question that he has been asked before he answers it. And so he always gives you a real high-level boxing IQ answer, should I say, if that makes any kind of sense. But Bernard Hopkins said that he was worried about Deontay Wilder's mental state, not his physical state, like being in shape. He said he's more worried about his mental state. So I thought that was interesting. And I know y'all hear me say that every now and then. But he says that out of the two, out of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, he says that Deontay Wilder is more emotional about this fight, like an emotion where he wants to get Tyson Fury back. So he says that that's not a good thing to have or to do when you're coming into a fight. And the reason why I respect his point of view, because he's a fighter. He knows what it takes, and he knows all the ins and outs of the what you call it, like the warfare of boxing. Like the controlling your anger. And the guy that Bernard Hopkins was speaking with during the interview asked Bernard Hopkins, he didn't ask him, he was telling Bernard Hopkins that Malik Scott training Wilder, and he said Wilder was looking good, on the pads. And B-Hop did his little thing where, he paused for a second, and he turned around and he told the guy that he was speaking with, he said, you would look good hitting pads, dancing around in front of the mirror. He said, anybody looks good hitting the pads. But he said it's a whole different story when you're in that ring on the day of the fight and the bell rings. He said that's when it's time to, you got to be ready for that moment. Not so in other words, he was saying all these videos that Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott has been making is fine and dandy, and there are several people that when hitting the pads, we could say anybody hitting the bag. If a boxer knows how to hit the bag and you don't know how to do it, so you're amazed. You're like, man, that dude was he was really hitting that bag. So he was just giving it to you from that perspective of just being in a gym. So being in a gym and being in a ring, he was explaining that this is two whole different aspects of boxing. It's not the same thing of what we're looking at from the outside. Then the guy asked B-Hop Bernard Hopkins, did he think it was a good thing for Deontay Wilder to come to the press conference just with his earphones on and tune out, everybody and all the questions about everything that happened in the past. And Bernard Hopkins stated that Deontay Wilder has to do what's best for him. If Deontay Wilder thought that that was best for him to tune everybody out, then so be it. But let me know your thoughts on what you think about Bernard Hopkins weighing in on the Tyson-Deontay Wilder trilogy. And do you like Bernard Hopkins' assessments of the fight? It don't have nothing to do with nobody liking, liking. I like all boxers, all sides of boxing. But this is Boxing Opinions 100. And let me leave your comments, hit the like button, and I'm out.